So I think I bought a fake. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. Today should be an interesting episode because I ended up buying a fake vintage Stratocaster, and what I mean by that is this guitar was intentionally built to try to deceive people, and they even went as far as recreating certain tooling marks, neck date, serial number, patent stamps, all of these little components to build a pretty convincing fake 60 or 61 Strat. So I figured today we could go over some of these details and the red flags especially that you should look for when maybe purchasing a vintage Fender guitar, and even compare some of these features to my original 1959 Stratocaster over here. So that's the plan for today. I think at least you guys will dig this guitar because it is a really cool Stratocaster despite being a fake. So let's check it out. It does come in an original Fender case. Here it is. So it's a really cool Daphne blue, sonic blue type color. And what I love about this is the combination with the gold hardware mint green guard. It's a really cool looking guitar. And on the back here, you'll see it's got this crazy flame maple neck on it. That, I mean, I don't know where this thing came from, but it's a really nice neck for sure. So let me move this case out of the way and we'll go over some of these details. So actually, I guess I will play it for you guys real quick so you can hear it, and then I will also get into the backstory of how I found it in just a little bit. So as you can hear, pretty good sounding and playing guitar. I don't think it has the same magic as my 59 does, but I'm probably a bit biased there. So let's go over some of these red flags. When I opened the case, the first thing I immediately noticed on this guitar was the shape of the headstock. And this is something that I just don't think a lot of the reissue guitars are even getting right. Maybe the custom shop might be getting the shape right, but the original guitars have a very unique contour to them, and you look at them at this certain angle, which I'll show you guys, and the cut from the nut into the headstock itself just has a certain look, and this one is wrong. So that's something that you can immediately see and look out for. Also, the dots on this one are not like the original clay dots. That's what people refer to them as. They were not made out of clay. They were some kind of fiberboard on the original ones, but they are supposed to have a very certain color, look, and patina to them and texture, and these ones do not. These are made of plastic. So on the face of the headstock here, you can see the logo is a really high quality reproduction with the correct patent number there. But obviously these guitars can be refinished, relogoed. They can even be Fender factory refinishes with correct real logos on them that are later. So I'm not gonna really get into that there. Now on the back, again, you'll see this incredible flame maple neck, and I don't know where this thing came from, what model this could be. Maybe someone hand built this thing. I don't know. If you guys recognize what any of these parts are from, then please drop a comment down below. But a really nice neck that you would certainly pay a premium for. And I feel like this playware on the back here is actually real, just the way that it feels and looks. That's my opinion of it. But a really great feeling kind of C-shape neck. And there's also a lot of playware on the fretboard itself, and the frets are almost played into the board, so definitely aids in how convincing this guitar is. If you take the neck off, you will see someone went as far as putting a handwritten pencil date at the end, which again, that's a big reason why I just feel like this guitar was intentionally built to to maybe be sold as a counterfeit guitar. And it does have a dowel mark or a jig hole on the back of the neck where it would have mounted to a jig in the Fender factory back in the day. And again, someone intentionally put that there. On the back, you'll see one of the most standout red flags that I think is really easy to notice, but I'm afraid some people are not making the connection here. But I'll get emails all the time asking me to authenticate certain guitars, and guitars for sale online through eBay and Reverb, and even dealers selling guitars that are counterfeit or have fake components. A lot of times you will see these fake neck plates on guitars, and if you compare it side by side to the 1959, you'll see that the font is clearly wrong on this, and you would think that they could somehow get this right, but you see these all the time. And another fact about this neck plate would really date it to like 59. It's only a few hundred digits off of the real one, so it doesn't really add up when you're talking about a 61 neck and a 59 neck plate. That's a red flag. I mean, you can almost have components on an original guitar a year apart, but going beyond that, that's a big red flag, and you should be concerned. Maybe it's a fake, or maybe it's a parts caster guitar that was put together with different guitar parts. As far as the body goes, the best thing to look for are these certain dowel marks, which are not visible here because of the paint job, but really the contours just don't look quite right. These would typically have a really deep belly cut, and this area around the heel is too bulky and just doesn't look right. Another good way to kind of authenticate the bodies is looking at them from this angle. They typically have a really deep arm cut as well, and this one just doesn't quite have the right contour there. So getting to the front of the guitar finally, all this plastic is, again, really high quality repro, but there's little details that just clue you in that it's all reissue parts. But the bridge setup here is really intriguing to me, because people talk about Fender patent pending saddles, and that's what the original ones would say on each individual saddle. That's what they're referring to when they say that. This bridge has patent pending saddles like the original ones, and even the patina on these looks real. It looks like it's worn in the way the original ones did. So these are really hard to distinguish from the original ones, except for this high E saddle right here. If you look at it really closely, you'll see that there's a misstamp on the saddle, kind of a ghosting of the word Fender there, and I've never seen that on an original. That means that this is definitely a fake bridge that is manufactured somewhere. I don't exactly know where. Mostly I see these guitars for sale in Asia or Europe. I don't know if they're manufacturing these parts over there, but this guitar actually I bought here in the United States. I guess this is a good segue to how I ended up finding the guitar. I bought a 1966 Esquire from a guy, really rare Fender guitar. It's a single pickup Telecaster basically, and they're pretty rare in the 60s. But anyways, bought the guitar from him. It's going to be a part of an upcoming series actually on the channel. But anyhow, perfect transaction, totally happy with it. Really cool original vintage guitar. So he was selling off a collection that his father had of vintage guitars, and he had unfortunately passed. And they were kind of going through, item by item, figuring out what they were going to sell. And so he would occasionally send me pictures of this or that they were selling. And I'd passed on a few old Fenders that they just weren't my thing exactly. And then finally he sent me a picture of this guitar, and I was really interested in it because Sonic Blue, gold hardware, flame neck. At first glance, I was like, wow, this could be a really killer guitar. And then we started looking into it and realized it looks like a fake. And he was a real honest guy, and we were comfortable working with each other and communicating with each other. And ultimately I decided to go ahead and buy it anyways because I thought it was really cool and figured I could do some videos like this. So it all worked out, but it just goes to show these guitars are floating out there, and this was in a collection that I'm afraid this gentleman thought was a legit guitar, and it could be as old as, I don't know, the 80s or 90s when the vintage guitar market craze was really getting going, and I think they started building these guitars, putting these guitars together because they realized how much money was in this. So unfortunately, you know, somewhere along the line this probably got sold as a real 61 Strat, but luckily I'm able to take this one off the market essentially. So that's how I came into it, and I don't know, I figured that it would make a good educational video because like I said, I just get questions all the time about trying to authenticate stuff, and these are simple red flags that you can notice. I'm thinking about doing maybe a really in detail video of going over all the components in comparison to say my 59 or my 58 Mary Kay guitar as well, so you can really see the details and getting into like the electronics and just certain marks on the body, stuff like that to look for. Might be a cool video. If you guys are interested in that, then you can drop a comment. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give a thumbs up, comment if you'd like, if you recognize any of the parts on this guitar. Like I said, I'd love to hear what you guys think of it, especially this neck, because like I said, that's a crazy looking flame neck. So who knows, but look forward to hearing from you guys, and I will see you in the next video, okay? Peace. Take 123. Here we go.